good afternoon, because I guess it's the afternoon in Jakarta. I will try to speak slowly because I think that there is a live interpretation, right?
Yes, we have interpreter here.
Okay, perfect. All right. So good afternoon. My name is Lola Rondeau. I work for French Customs. I'm part of the intellectual property and anti-counterfeiting team. So my team is in charge of all type of counterfeits except medicines and fake cigarettes, because we have specific teams dedicated to these two topics. So through this presentation, our objective is I will try to share good practices to develop also our national and European strategy and organization to fight IP crimes and counterfeit. So maybe let me show you my summary. So I will begin with our strategy, so the French Customs anti-counterfeiting strategy. Then I will show you our key figures, some trends also related to Southeast Asia. I really try to orientate my presentation on Southeast Asia region, so it can be like I hope interesting to you. And also then I will present our fight against IP crimes, a specific relevant case between France and Southeast Asia, and finally our relations with Southeast Asia. So let's begin with our strategy. So here is a quotation from our minister saying that the fight against counterfeiting is a major challenge for governments and a priority for customs. Indeed, counterfeiting is a threat to the health and safety of consumers, but also to businesses and to the environment. So quotation is like the good definition of our strategy, because we try to focus on the safety, the health, and the security of our consumers. But we also aim to protect our businesses, to protect their innovation and their products, and of course to protect the environment as much as we can. So let's if I develop a bit our strategy. So first, this is the French customs strategy. We are not the only, like the single authority working on anti-counterfeiting, but we are the most important one on this topic, who has the most training on IP rights, and who is also the one that is doing more seizures and more key figures, has more results on counterfeits. So this is clearly one of our key topic for French customs. So our strategy is, we have 3 key points. The first one is to focus on hazardous goods, which are the goods which are potentially dangerous to the environment and to the consumer. So we deal with every type of IP crime, trademarks, designs, copyright, geographical indications, plant variety rights also. So, as I said, our strategy is to focus on dangerous goods that can potentially hurt the environment or the consumer. So, for instance, we have beer rings, which you can find in elevators or in trains, that could be very dangerous. We have perfumes and cosmetics that people will put on their skin, so it could be also very dangerous. Also, car spare parts, or toys for the kids, that could be very dangerous. And so every type of goods are in our radar, even construction equipments or materials. So this is the first point of our strategy, trying to focus on this type of goods. Of course, we cover all type of goods, so we also deal with clothes, accessories, labels, logos, but our main focus is to take off as soon as possible the dangerous goods out of the market. And then our second objective, our second goal, is to dismantle trafficking and organized crime organizations. This is another important element of our strategy, to dismantle important counterfeit goods traffics. To do so, we do not only seize the goods, but we also work on with intelligence services. We work on trying to gather as much intelligence as we can and to start investigations whenever we think that there is potentially a trafficking involved or any organized crime organization involved, because it is common that counterfeits trade is linked to organized crime organization. In France, we managed to establish a link between it was so fake clothes traffic, clothes counterfeits that was at the end financing and funding a terrorist organization. So this is clearly important to us because counterfeits traffic seems quite easy to get benefits, and there is less control than drugs organizations, for instance, than drugs traffics or guns traffics that are more difficult. Counterfeits is easier for counterfeiters, but at the same time, it could be very dangerous and finance organized crime organization. And so that's one of our objectives. Also, we noticed that there is what we call in French multi-criminality. So that's the infractors, like the counterfeiters, are not doing only counterfeits, but they are also doing drugs traffics, guns traffics, tobacco traffics. So there is a mix of the traffics. And so it is important to us to dismantle all this type of traffic and of multi criminality, because they are sign of potential smuggling, of course. So our aim is to gather as much information and intelligence as we can to analyze it and to investigate. Also, we have a specific legislation in France for customs. It means that we are not only competent at the borders, we are also competent inside the territory. On all over the national territory, we have the competence to act, which means that if a good cross a border, we could get the information and we can still follow this good until its final destination, and we can act in inland. It means that we can act in a shop, we can act in someone's house, and we can act in warehouses, for instance. So that's a very strong competence that we have, and it really helps the investigation work to start from the border until the destination points and destination of the goods. And also the last point of our strategy is to increase our vigilance on e-commerce, because as you all know, e-commerce and online marketplaces is a huge topic for counterfeits. We receive massive flows of goods coming from online marketplaces every day through express freight mainly. So we have cyber units which investigates online, and they really help us on a daily basis. And the second part of this vigilance on e-commerce is to cooperate with online marketplaces. So that's one of our objectives. We already started it a few years ago. We have a cooperation partnership with Amazon, the online platform. So how does it work? It is a specific cooperation on toys and goods for mainly that could be harmful for children. So we have this partnership with Amazon. Our cyber units and customs officer could select the goods on Amazon that looks a bit strange or that could infringe IP rights or who are clearly looking like counterfeitings. And so they check these goods, they keep it. They also check the potential sellers, and then we send it to Amazon that will keep the goods from this seller in a specific warehouse. And at the end, the customs officer just go to these places and could check and control all the goods. So that's really helpful to us. So we can orientate our controls, and it's, as you know, it's a lot of small consignments coming every day. We're not able to control everything. So this is a way to, it's a first filter. So we managed to find the potential counterfeits online. Amazon keeps it for us, and then we control it. So that's really useful. And we hope that we could develop this type of partnerships with other online marketplaces. So I will now show you our key figures. So as you can see, and as you know, counterfeit is a is really important. It's a real challenge for French customs. So since 5 years now, we have more and more items removed from the market. So last year, in 2024, we removed more than 21 million items from the market. So as I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, these figures do not include fake cigarettes or fake medicines. It is all the type of IP infringement in goods, but not these two categories, which are in a deal with another team. So if we have a look at the detail of the goods that we removed from the market, it was mainly packagings and labels. So usually there are packaging and labels coming by Fred Express, and that then there are sticked, on neutral clothes or on parcels. So yeah, it's a huge problem to us. And then we have toys and sport items. So toys which are part of the dangerous goods. So we really have a strong attention on this point. Then textile goods, accessories, and fragrances and cosmetics. We observed. So if we have a look at, I checked yesterday's figures of this year. At the same time in the year, so in August last year, it's quite the same. So I think that we will get at least the same amount of goods removed from the market this year, or maybe more, because we also have a huge trend on perfumes and upcoming operations on this type of goods that I think could. I think we will find a lot of good to remove from the market, and the figures will be even bigger, which is not always a good sign. I mean, it's a sign that we managed to take off as much goods as possible from the market, but it's also the sign that there are more and more counterfeits coming to the French and European territory. So here is the detail for the goods. Maybe I can give you last year so this is 2024 figures. In 2023 we had 20 million, and in 2022 it was 11 million. So we see a huge difference between 2022 and 2023. And regarding our data gathering, so we have customs officers all over the national territory at local point. They realize the seizures. They enter the results. We have an internal platform. They enter it.